Sticking with this topic of the lightweight situation, we know the champions being Shakur Stevenson, Tank Davis, Lomachenko and Baranchyk. We spoke about Stevenson's situation with his mandatory opponent in William Cepeda and how that fight's not going to happen because William Cepeda's talking about he's got a hand injury. And I do say that if you can't do your mandatory, you should be trying to push for a unification fight with another champion. To be fair to Shakur Stevenson, he has been doing that ever since I've heard of Shakur Stevenson and ever since I've seen him doing interviews about who he wants to fight next. He always wants to fight the champions at whatever weight class he's at. He was at featherweight, then super featherweight, and now he's at lightweight, and he's been a champion at all of these weight classes, and he's always wanted to unify. Now, he moved up the weight classes quickly because I think that he's growing at a rate which he doesn't want to stay at no lower weights, boiling himself down. He wants to move with his body, which I believe is really, really good. So with that being said, he's now at lightweight and he seems to be able to stay here for a hot minute because he's talking about unifying and becoming undisputed. He has been chasing the Tank fight for the longest time. It started off respectful, then it got a bit disrespectful, and so on and so forth. And he has been looking to fight Lomachenko for the longest time. And the latest news about Lomachenko is that he doesn't want to fight again this year because he wants to be with his family in his native country of Ukraine and situations that's going on there. He wants to be close to his family right now. Plus, he's thinking of retirement is what the reports are. Even though Bob Arum has said that he will fight again in 2025. Lomachenko seems to be more going towards the retirement situation more than anything else. He is 36 years old, and in them lighter divisions, you age more like fruit more so than in the heavier divisions you age like fine wine. And plus, Lomachenko's style is for the younger type boxer, where he's very herky-jerky, very much a lot of movement, plus planting his feet down as heavily as he can so he can get as heavy a shot out as he can. And his movement is very, very sharp and sporadic, very much suited for a younger person. With that being said, I can see him going into retirement, and Shakur Stevenson has his own thought process about Lomachenko and his situation.
I think he's soft. What I seen at that last fight when he pushed up and was talking to me kind of reckless, but then he don't really want to get in the boxing ring and square off. I think he's soft. So I have respect for him for what he done in the sport of boxing. But lately I kind of lost a lot of respect for him just because our altercation with each other was more so like he was rowdy outside the ring, but he don't want to get in the ring and settle it. So I don't even see the point of him boxing if he's not going to fight me or if he's not going to fight Tank. What's the point of you boxing? What are you doing?
And I don't see why Shakur should have any sympathy or any care about his situation. I believe that Lomachenko is holding up the division because he is the IBF champion. And if he's not going to unify, he should be looking to take on his mandatories. And he's not looking to do that at all. He's looking to stay with his family and be beside his family in these troubling times for his country, which I don't fault him for this at all. At the same time, maybe you should just give up the belt then. Even if you're not going to retire, give up the belt, let someone else actually fight for the belt. And maybe the IBF can label you a champion in recess until you come back. If not, then you just come back and with your name, you can get a big fight straight away. You can get a fight with Gervonta Tank Davis because now that you're going into retirement, it seems like Gervonta wants to fight you. Because I remember before the George Kambosos fight, you were talking about this could be your last time in boxing. You weren't very happy about what happened with you and Devin Haney. And then you was like getting disillusioned with the whole boxing scene and you were on your way out. And at that point, Tank said he wants to fight you. And then after the Kambosos fight, you had your own things to say.
Tank Davis on social media said Lomachenko is next. Finally, it looks like he wants to get in the ring with you. Is that a fight that you want to do next?
You know, during my boxing career, I never running around, and I always take fights. And right now I want to come back to my home, spend the time with my family, and after then I rest a little bit, we can talk about future.
So with all this being said, Maybe Vasyl Lomachenko should retire. He's had a great career. He will be a Hall of Famer. He's had over 400 amateur fights. And any one of the losses he's had in the amateurs, he's had his get back and he's had his revenge and won against the same opponent that beat him. So maybe you should retire. You've done all that you set out to do in the sport. You are definitely a Hall of Fame fighter. Forget about Tank, man. Forget about him. He's not serious. You know he's not serious. And he doesn't want to fight you, really. Now that you want to retire, now that you're talking about you want to leave the game, now he wants to fight you. It's not serious. He's not serious. Leave that alone. And maybe you should retire. But if you do fight in 2025, like your promoter Bob Arum is saying, then I will definitely be there front and center to see who you fight and how the fight turns out. But that is what's happening with Lomachenko and the IBF. And it's just another spanner in the works of the lightweight division. With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.